Right, I want to introduce you to somebody first off before we start. This is my Nana, Jessie. Now, had she not transcended, been in heaven right now, she would kill me for showing you this photo. One, because of the perm. Two, because of the lack of bra, which I honestly hadn't even twigged till it was on the big screen yesterday. I was like, oh. She was my nan, and honestly, I adored this woman. She was such a big part of my life. She was tiny and very fierce. People do say that I'm a little bit like her. I don't understand why. I don't see the similarity. Little Jessie. And she told me the whole time I was growing up, get a permanent job, get a good job, get a stable job. It's really important. And one day I said to her, okay, I really want a Porsche. And she was like, oh, well, you'll have to marry a very rich man now, Donna. And I was like, oh, no, I mean, like, I want to buy my own. And she went, oh, I think you probably will, And this theme of, it seemed to be a bit different for boys, kind of followed the way through. And I remember being in a careers class and saying, I wanted to be Mrs. David Attenborough. And he looked at me and I was like, I like mountain gorillas. It didn't occur to me I could just be a female version of it. I thought if I married him, I'd get to the Virunga mountain gorillas faster. That was the thinking. I wanted to join the RAF, and they just kept saying, Or you could work in a bank. So the bank theme definitely played out because my nana was obsessed that I would work in a bank like my Auntie Julia. And they even put me there for my, you do your work experience when you're about 15. They put me in a bank. I was not impressed. So I went to uni, broke the mold. And that was hard because I was from a place, in the northeast of England with a lot of unemployment. I grew up, when they were closing the coal mines, closing the shipyards, seeing on the television all these queues of men. I remember saying to Dad, like, what's that? And he said, oh, they're queuing for jobs. And I was really scared. I remember my granddad being out of work. So I knew people when they were advising you to get a permanent job, it was from a real place of love. Like that was the golden fleece. But I was like, I'll go to university first, went to university. And as the time was ticking, I was like, I've got to get one of them job things that people are talking about. So I went out, got myself a permanent job within a week of leaving university at a really big company. I thought, this is it. I've made it. Everyone's going to be proud. The golden fleece, the permanent job. Everybody was miserable as sin. I was like, I don't understand. You've all got these permanent job things I've been hearing about. Like from where I'm from, everybody wants a permanent job. The queuing, did you not see it on the telly? Everything was closed and you've got a permanent job. I just can't wait to retire. I want to get me shares, get me pension and retire. I was like, when are you retiring? In 25 years' time. I'm like, wow, this is it. This is being a grown-up. It sucks. And I was just like, so as long as you've got a permanent job, you don't have to have purpose or be happy or be fulfilled or anything like, no, just take the money. Just take the money. You can retire. You can have fun then. Just didn't seem to fit. There was like this sacrifice. You can't have it all. Don't be greedy kind of vibe going on. I knew then that wasn't for me.
And the thing is, we coach women every single day all over the world who are still being influenced by these societal and cultural norms. And it's 2023. They believe that they have to sacrifice something, that they have to choose this or that they've got to work in a shop or in a bank. They believe that their dreams, their desires, they're just pipe dreams somewhere over there. They believe that they can't have a successful career and a family. Oh my God, it's got to be one or the other. Women believe that they can't have it all. And we want to talk to you today about how you can create a life without limits using identity imprinting. So I just want you to think back to when you were a young child. What dreams did you have? What desires did you have? Was it to be Mrs. David Attenborough? Was it to have a Porsche? Was it to be rich, to be famous? Like whatever it was. You were just filled with this wonder, this magic, you had this like magic sparkle inside of you. You just believed it would happen, right? You didn't need a PowerPoint presentation or a plan or a business plan or a racy document. You didn't need to know when it was going to happen. You didn't need a timeline. You just believed that it would. And then over the years, more limiting beliefs are imprinted onto us. And that magic spark inside just gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. And before we know it, we've lost connection with the dream, with the desire. Does that resonate? But we want you to know, because we speak to women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s who've lost that connection, who want to find it again. They want to believe that their dreams, their desires are possible for them. And we want you to know that they are, that you can create a life without limits. I'm going to talk to you about how to do that. But we just want you to think about this for a moment. Are you doing the thing that you dreamed of when you were a young child? Or are you in a job that's stable, that's secure, got a good share point, a good share pot? You've got a pension pot there. You're going to retire in 30 years, but you're miserable. You're unfulfilled and you're not happy. Hold that thought.
So your identity imprint, this you that you think you are, we see it inform what you then do and the results that you then get in life. And we don't just see it with you, we see it in all the stats. When we look at them, some of them are quite depressing, they come with a warning. Women are still in a minority in leadership. So looking at the stats, you've got like less than a third, and that hasn't really moved in the last 7 years. We also see, when we look at SMEs, 19% of them in the UK are actually led by women. Not good. And we also know that lack of confidence is the reason that women tell us when we do these polls, or whoever does the polls, that that's why they're not leading in, they're not taking the seat at the tables that they really want to be in corporate, they're not starting the businesses. And your voice is the one that is needed at those tables. It is essential that we start to speak our truth and have our say in these boardrooms. We also know that we're still not being paid as much as men. 17% less than average. What do we think of that? I'll definitely need to do better on that one. And in the Northeast, 3/4 of women, that's 3 out of 4 women sitting here, don't feel like they have the same equal opportunities as their male counterparts. 3 in 4 female business owners don't feel like they have the same opportunities. That's just not good enough. But the thing is, a lot of it is because of our identity, how we see ourselves. We don't feel like we're worthy of being at those tables. So what do? We make up for it. How do we do that? We work our backsides off. We overwork, we overdeliver, we overserve. We send ourselves into burnout trying to prove that we belong at that table. And then we feel guilty because we're not spending enough time, we're not being good and present parents and mums. And then when we're with the kids, we feel guilty that we should be working harder at work, and we split ourselves in two, put ourselves somewhere at the bottom of a very, very, very long to-do list. And when we see a job that we'd love, we go, well, I can't do 100% of the things. We actually self-select. We're not even applying for the things that we think we could do, that we'd love to do, because we don't think we're good enough to do them. And let me tell you, if you're sitting thinking, yeah, but when I get to 6 figures in my business, or when I'm earning 6 figures as a CEO, it'll be okay. It isn't. We see women burning themselves out, whether they're on entry-level salaries or on their multiple 8-figure salaries owning their own businesses, because the money doesn't fix the money mindset problem that they have, because it's a self-worth problem. Does this resonate, like with the burnout and the trying harder? Can I have a show of hands if you feel like you're always overworking, over-delivering, overset, right? Just have a look around, you're not on your own. And if it's not you, you'll know somebody who's like that. But here is the thing, you in this room today get that wake-up call that it's us that's doing that. It's the identity that we have imprinted in us that's creating that burnout and overwhelm. Are you ready to change that today? Oh, shit. The doors are locked. Are you ready? Done. Would you like to do something about that today? Yes! Hallelujah.
So your identity is formed by your beliefs. Your beliefs are formed by thoughts that you think on a repeated basis. Most of your beliefs aren't even your own. They were given to you. There's a present. It's a nice present full of limiting beliefs, people. From being in the womb up until the age of 7, you record everything that you hear, that you're told, that you experience, that you feel. And you don't challenge it. You just accept that as your fact. That is your truth. And it's added to across the years. From that, you form your unique lens of life. This is how you see the world. This is how you believe the world sees you. What you think you're capable of. What you think you're not capable of. How good enough you think you are. How worthy you believe you are. How deserved you believe you are. Your identity and your beliefs are like this projector. They're playing out in your life. It's the movie of your life. So just think about that. Are you happy with your life? Are you happy with the movie that's being played? And if the answer is no, you get to do something about it. We're not just going to leave you hanging there, people.
Yeah. Good luck.
That's the talk over.
To do that, though, we need to just give you like a little bit of a neuroscience lesson. Is everybody up for that? Because it's really important that you understand how your mind works. Because regardless of how good you think your butt is, your mind is the sexiest part of you. It's the biggest part of you. It creates everything in your life. And your mind is sort of separated into two different parts, to keep it simple. Because you have 60,000 thoughts a day. More than that. More than 60,000. Can you imagine that? Now, that would be literally too much to process. So 5% of that actually sits in what we call your conscious mind, the thinking mind. It can actually pick and choose and select and reason and rationalize, analyze, yeah? That's only 5% though. That's the bit you're aware of. The vast majority, 95%, which is huge, is what we call your subconscious mind. That's all your patterned behaviors, all of the imprints of the beliefs that you were given by your parents, by Jessie telling me just get a good job, get a stable job. All of that is in your subconscious mind, and they're like programs. So when you think of it like this laptop, imagine you are the conscious mind. You're the one putting in the laptop what you want to look up that day. But the laptop, which is the super brain, it's linked to everything. It has infinite memory, infinite potential. It could do anything you want. Can only do the things of the programs that you've put into it, which were imprinted in you. That's all of your beliefs. It's all of your emotions, all of your habits, all of the programs and patterns. So when you choose and you want to do something else, you have the thought, but is the program in the laptop? Is it in the subconscious mind? As you expand what you want, we have to expand what program we've got. If the program's not working, it's got a virus, we've got to take it out, we've got to install new software. You're still running with a lot of the software that your parents and your grandparents and everybody else put in you when you were being told what to do as a child. Sometimes we need a software update. We need to upgrade the software, the program.
So, just to use this as an example, if you were told that women in the northeast of England have a lack of opportunities, and you believe that to be true, you formed a belief about it sitting there in the laptop in your program. You will actively seek out examples of women from the northeast of England who have a lack of opportunities. You'll seek it out because it fits your belief system. Your brain is designed to prove yourself right. So whatever's in the program, it looks for the evidence. Even if you've got loads of evidence to the contrary that women in the northeast can have loads of opportunities, you might be sitting next to a few of them today, let's just say, you will delete and you'll distort that information because it does not sit with your current belief system. You'll actively seek it out. And then what happens? Well, I'm from the northeast of England, there's a lack of opportunity, so I'll just stay in this job and I'll just wait for my pension to come in 30 years' time because, you know, I'm from the northeast of England, I'm a woman. We become a victim. We'll become a victim of our perceived circumstance from what we believe. We feel like we've got no power. We feel like we've got no control over our lives, right? Yes, I heard a few nods with that. Mm-hmm. Okay, just close your eyes for me for a minute. I just want you to think of something that you desire. Something that you desire now. To have your own business, to set up multiple businesses, to be a millionaire. Whatever it is, it's personal to you. And just bring that into the movie in your mind. And I want you to just tune into some thoughts that might be popping into your head. You're not good enough. People like you don't do things like that. You don't deserve that. You're not worthy enough. You're not qualified enough. Just open your eyes for me. Pop your hand up if you've got any of those thoughts popping through about your desire. Those are the thoughts that are sat in your subconscious mind in the laptop. Those are your beliefs. So when you have a desire, the beliefs have to match. This is your current identity imprint. And to put it frankly, if you believe that something will not happen, it's not going to. If you believe something is going to happen, then it will.
Who likes the film Hitch? Has anyone seen that one? You know, and Will Smith's coaching the guy and he's like, you is a very fluid concept right now. Yeah. Because you are who you believe you are. When you change who you believe you are, technically you're a different person. And you're actually doing that all of the time, very effectively without realizing it. Think of something that you can do now that you couldn't do before. It might be driving a car, starting a business, taking a whole day off and coming to TEDx on your own, so yeah, standing on a TEDx stage, sounding like you know what you're talking about. You know, it could be anything that you haven't done before, make something up, yeah? At some point, you had to change your neurowiring. You had to physically change the program. You had to take out the program that was in and put a new program in. Imagine being 45, deciding you want to leave corporate after 20 years because you want to have some of that spark that you remember having when you first went into it. And you decide to start a business and you haven't got a clue what you're doing. Yeah? New programs had to be installed. And it's possible. And it's not positive thinking. It's not, pushing through, rah, doing it. It's not that. It's literally having a desire, creating a new belief, putting in a new program. Because if you want to watch a different movie play out that is your life, you've got to change the program to do it.
Okay. So we have talked to you today about how you can create a life without limits using identity imprinting. You have the power to change your thoughts and your beliefs. It's within your gift. You have the control. It doesn't matter where you're from, how old you are, what gender you are, what you were taught or told. You get to create a new identity and you get to create the opportunities that you desire in life. So what are you going to decide to do? Are you going to stay in the stable job, waiting for the pension, counting down the hours of every day of every year with the same belief system? Or are you going to decide that you're going to create a new identity? Are you going to create new beliefs? You're going to take control of your life. Are you going to start creating the opportunities in life that you desire? Are you going to be the circuit breakers for women and girls for generations to come? Can I get a hell yes?
Hell yes.
Good. We've got one more question for you guys. Who are you now ready to become? The end.